Hi everyone, and welcome to another seated version of Dancing to Heal. But do feel free to stand up if you want to. I will be demonstrating this one seated. So let's do our safety checks first of all. Make sure you have plenty space to stretch out your arms around your body and that your seat is stable and comfortable and you can touch the floor with your feet. If you're going to take your shoes off, which is really a good idea, and so you can sense with the soles of your feet and wiggle your toes about, then do put your shoes out of the way in a safe place. So you should have plenty of room to move around and just work or move in your own body's way. It's just about having some fun to the music and a little bit of fun exercise. So I shall get the music on and we will have some fun with the moves. Okay, so from your seated position, comfortable position, let's take a long breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And we're going to begin to activate the joints, our 13 major joints: ankles, knees, hips, wrists, elbows, shoulders and spine. So we'll begin with an ankle and begin to move that ankle in your way. Give the toes a wiggle about. So we're including the foot, and choose some moves that feel okay for you. So just play with that, different moves with the ankle and the foot. And then we can move on to the knee joint. So notice I'm putting my hand to the knee. That does help to sense the joint. And just play with the moves there with the knee. It shouldn't hurt. If it hurts, just tweak the movement slightly, make an adjustment so that you can connect to pleasure rather than pain. Lovely. And then onto the hip. So even though you're seated, you may be able to move the hip at that side by some circular movements, some pelvic circles, or some hip bumps, slightly lifting out of your chair. Lovely, sensing that joint. And then we move on to the wrist, some rotation of the wrist, and adding the fingers and the thumb, includes the hand. And how about watching the hand as it travels? And that way we get some head-eye movement. And into the elbow, the elbow joint. Again, notice how that feels for you. Play with the different moves that you can do with that elbow. And when you're ready, let's move on to the shoulder. Now you might want to begin with small movements at first, and then if you feel ready to, moving the arm in larger circles in each direction. Just do what you can. See if you can move that shoulder joint. Perfect. So now we're going to connect to the spine, and that's really from the top of the head all the way down to the coccyx where you're seated. How about moving side to side to see if we can get some movement? Side to side, to the spine, with the jaw slightly open, and we'll take away tension. We can also do what we call a spinal roll, some movement of the spine. So we might need to shuffle forward in your seat a bit. I'm going to lean out and look down, looking up. And when you get to your depth, let the head hang and come up looking down. And that can also be done the other way, coming down, looking down. So again, down, looking down. When you get to your depth, chin up, look up, and come up, looking up. And back to the side movements. And then onto the other shoulder. Once again, choosing small. And if you want to go bigger, with this circling of the arm, and some movement in that shoulder joint. It might feel a little different from one side to the other. And then to the elbow at that side. And to the wrist. Rotation of the wrist. Adding fingers and thumb with some movement there. And then down to the ankles. Movement there, movement of the foot. Give the toes a wiggle about. Really sensing the soles of your feet. Walk those feet in towards close stance. Bring them out a little to open, about shoulder width apart. A stance makes that A shape. Sumo is as wide as you really can feel comfortable with. And then walk those feet back in. Perhaps having your feet a little bit further apart. Maybe about open stance or A stance. And we're going to be doing this spear finger. So we're going to do a figure of 8 with the spear finger. And if you want to, you can walk the feet as you do that figure of 8, relaxing the shoulders and going with that flow of that lovely figure of 8 shape. Get ready to stretch out the fingers, bring them to you. I'm going to take them down to your depth. As you bring those arms up, middle finger crossover index, we circle those arms. Let's do that again. So stretching out to you and down to your depth, middle finger crossover. And get ready for your figure of 8, spear finger. Excellent. Figure of 8, and then we get ready for some palm directions, feet together, palm up, palm down, and then widening the stance, together, lovely, and back to that figure of 8, spear finger. Aware of the sound, listening, and how your body feels at this moment. And get ready to go through those moves a little faster to you. Crossover, and again. You've got it. Great moves. So these moves can be smaller if you wish. They don't have to be big moves. Same moves, any size you like. Let's begin to make them smaller. So it's smaller circles with those arms. Closer to your body. let's have a play with spear finger around the body, stretching out the fingers, middle finger crossover, rotation of the wrists, palm up, palm down, and again, palm up, palm down. Well done. So for this next track, we're going to start with open stance. And there might be parts where I say, if you want to take one foot back onto the ball of the foot, that's up to you. So we're going to be dancing the wrists to begin with, little movements of the wrists. And then elbows, little elbow dance. And then the shoulders. Can you move those shoulders? Dance them. And then there's a spinal dance. So you can either go side side, or if you want to bring in the spinal roll, that's another option. So let's do that. Wrists again. Play with that. Elbows. Shoulders. And the spine. I'm going to do another spinal roll. So, choosing your stance for your legs, start with the wrists. If you want to take one foot back, ball of the foot for those elbows. Shoulders. And then it's the spinal move. Choose a move. A stance, open, other foot goes back, ball of the foot, shoulders, next one's the spine, and then the feet go back, wrists. Let's just have a play with that spinal move, any choice, any option, wrists. Choose your foot that goes back, ball of the foot. And we take the other foot back, ball of the foot. You remember in the sequence, what comes next? Yep, shoulders and spine. Feet back to A, open, wrists, and another one with the spine, wrists, other side. And how does this spine want to move? Could be side side, could be spinal roll. Back to A. Spine. You got it. Other side, ball of the foot. Wrists. Let's do another one with the spine. Okay, let's walk the feet as we do wrists. Play with that. Elbows. Shoulders. And then the spinal moves. Now you choose. It can be elbows, spine, wrists, shoulders, you choose. You can choose to walk the feet or keep them still. Okay, let's begin to walk those feet in towards closed stance. Open. A. Sumo. And walk them back in. And then walk them to about open stance, which is round about shoulder width apart. And again, for this track, if you want to, you can take one foot back onto the ball of the foot. So you can really sense the ball of your foot here. And we're going to be actually doing a circle with the hands towards the opposite knee, as if you're running the hands around the edge of an imaginary ball. Just as comfortable as it feels for you. The movements can be smaller if you want them to be. Lovely. Okay, then we're going to change the leg so the foot goes back and we'll go towards the other knee. Perfect. Okay, let's stretch out the hands, the fingers, twice. And then the other side. Gently stretching out. Now imagine you've got hold of a piece of cloth. You're going to lift and lower, so we're going to swish it round, up and down. We can watch the hands, the wrists. And you might notice the rotation of the waist. You could imagine that you're swishing that cloth through some water and you watch it drip and then swish it round. Beautiful. Okay, let's take those hands from the side and palms are up as we bring them towards us. Circling those hands, those arms. Beautiful. And then if you want to, you can go a little faster with the moves. We can play with that. And see if you can get some movement in the spine as we do this. You might notice that movement down your spine. And you could play with making the arm movements smaller or bigger. Now how about grabbing those hands together as you bring the hands in. So stretch them out and then grab those arms. Lovely. Grabbing with the hands as you draw towards you. Last one. Lovely. Okay, so as we go into the cool down, we're also going to energize ourselves for the rest of the day. So you want to be in a position where you can really touch the floor okay. And then just for a moment, as long as you're stable in your seat, just for a moment, just close your eyes and imagine yourself sinking down into Mother Earth, being supported by Mother Earth. And you can also imagine a beam of light coming down over the body to help you relax, like the sunlight. And just imagine that light coming in with new energy, and we're going to just release anything we no longer need. So opening your eyes, let's just begin to move our hands around the body with some palm directions. And imagine you creating a lovely bubble of space around you. It could be a bubble of protection or your happy space. And within your range of movement, you might be able to go a little bit further, a little deeper. That rotation of the waist, you might be able to go a little bit higher, creating that lovely bubble around you. Then we begin to move our fingers and thumbs into what we call creepy crawlies. But you could also imagine these like little butterflies flying around within your bubble. Watch the hands, just imagining those little butterflies. Lovely. Okay, now let's begin to move these little fingers and thumbs. And without moving your head excessively, see if you can watch them go to the side. Just using your eyes. And then back again towards center. And then the other way. Just as far as you can still see them, and then back, and then take them up, without moving your head excessively, and down through center, and down as far as you can see, and then back, and then take them further away from your face. Watch them come closer, 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 closer to your face, and then stretch out the fingers again. Stretch them out. Okay, let's have another go with that middle finger crossover. You might need the help of the other hand and some rotation of the wrists. And then stretch out the fingers. Take the palms to the side. And take that long breath in through the nose as the palms of the hands go up, and out through the mouth as the palms of the hands go down to ground. Okay, and just give yourselves a clap. Well done. Thank you. I'll see you again in the next session.